Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Cora and today we'll be reviewing Armaff's Island Bliss. On the website it says that this fragrance is marketed towards men, but I think life is short and you should wear whatever you want. On my channel I review fragrances, skincare, and I sprinkle in a little bit of lifestyle. I do tend to spend a lot of time with my experience of a fragrance before telling you what the manufacturer says you should be smelling. So if you want a tatted up, blue-eyed fragrance enthusiast telling you what to smell, keep watching. I have my little decant here. If you're looking to get some samples, definitely check out Aroma Sample. They have an Etsy shop and a website. I've ordered from them about 3 times now. The packages are always early. The product is never damaged or cracked or leaking. I've never had any trouble with the atomizers on these, and everything is always clearly marked. Makes it super easy to organize my collection of samples and decants. Check out the description below for my coupon code for 15% off. All right, I was really looking forward to this fragrance. The bottle is pretty unique. It's pretty cute. Word on the street though is do not pick it up by the handle, pick it up by the whole thing. With the Island Bliss, I tested it out on a paper tester strip before I tested it on my skin. And on the test strip, my first impression was that it was fresh and floral and light. It smelled like a perfume on the tester strip, not a sunscreen, which is always something you worry about with summer scents, right? Or something called island or pool or vacation. You know, you just worry about that sunscreen vibe. That wasn't here on the paper test. It was pleasing, but came across as kind of generic to my nose. It's high quality, but the notes, for me at least, were pretty limited. I was picking up on a pretty select few notes. When I was smelling it on paper, a couple of other names for the fragrance came to mind. I felt like these names really encapsulated my experience with the paper test. The names that came to mind were Water Lily, Fresh Cut Florals, Morning Dew, and Water Garden. Those names just really sounded like the fragrance smelled, if that makes any sense. On my skin, the fragrance maintained about 95% of the scent profile that I smelled on the paper test. That's pretty high. When it was on my skin, I could detect specific florals a little bit more, but the overall impact or the overall impression was a blend of pink and yellow florals. On my skin, I detected a sun note. I'm not quite sure what else to call it. Just smelled like the sun. It was small but still detectable. It wasn't very prominent. On my skin, this came across as a very nice, light, well-blended fragrance. Perfect for spring and summer. It smells high quality but does wear light, so just keep that in mind. It doesn't project. It stays pretty close to the skin. I noticed that it lasted about 5 or 6 hours, and that was without me trying. You know, without me doing that. After 8 hours, I could still get whiffs of it from my skin. At 12 hours, though, I did do this just to see if there was any trace left at all. And there was. It was a very, very faint perfume-y note was still on my skin, but it was pretty far removed from what the original scent smelled like. For me, this fragrance reminds me of water a lot. I would probably call it Water Garden if I had to rename the fragrance. Let's see what the Armaff website has to say. So for top notes, they're really saying something that I did not get. So I'm not gonna lie, the description on the website is pretty far removed from my experience with this fragrance. So for top notes, the website is saying you should be smelling wild berries and green accords. I did not get that at all. It's just coming across as like watery and fresh. For heart notes, the website says you should be smelling orange blossom, water lily, and creamy coconut. I'm not getting coconut at all, if I'm being honest. I'm not getting any fruits whatsoever. I'm just getting florals. The water lily definitely makes sense. It was actually one of the names I might have renamed this fragrance. And maybe the sun smell that I was getting is coming from the orange blossom, but no coconut, no fruit at all to my nose. In the base, the website says you should be smelling tonka bean, vanilla, and musk. I'm not getting any of those 3 things. No tonka bean, no vanilla, certainly no musk. To me, the base just drops out of this. You know, if we're, I want to give this fragrance credit where credit's due. So when I'm picking up on like a perfume-y note at the very, very tail end of the fragrance, kind of wasn't a good representation of my experience with it. That may have been a blend of the vanilla and musk, I'm not sure, to give it like that perfumey, the traditionally perfumey accord, but nothing as distinct as that. It was not distinct. I couldn't distinctly pick up vanilla, couldn't distinctly pick up tonka bean or musk. Fragrantica also does not reflect my experience with this. And Fragrantica says the top 3 accords you should smell are coconut, vanilla, and sweet. If I had to redo this, I would put at the top water/fresh, if that makes sense, floral, and then tropical at the bottom, just to kind of capture that sun note that I was getting. Overall, to me, this is more of like a watery, fresh fragrance. It smells like you're walking past the beach. It doesn't smell like you're on the beach. Does that make sense? It smells like you're walking past the beach and you're getting whiffs of it, but not even like the salty part, just like the fresh apart from the ocean. It just smells like a water garden to me. I think that's the best way to sum it up. Water garden. While the bottle is really captivating, for me this fragrance is not full bottle worthy just because it's so generic and mass appealing and it's too vague to me. It smells just like fresh water. It's too vague. If I'm gonna get a fresh fragrance, I'm gonna get a little something with salts in it if I want an ocean kind of vibe, or I'm gonna get like a fresh out of the shower kind of clean kind of thing. So this fresh watery vibe is not for me, but it's high quality. So if you like fresh watery vibes, you like a little bit of florals in there, then I think you'll really enjoy this. Right now it's $70 on the Armaff website, but it's $43 on Amazon. To me, this is certainly worth the $43 price tag. It smells high quality, it's just not to my liking. What kind of fresh fragrances do you like? Would you like the ocean fresh with the salt? Do you like out in the garden kind of fresh? Do you like just out of the shower fresh? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.